this again. Shift F2 is actually used to insert the comments, but in my software I have given this shortcut key to get the recording on. So I pressed Shift 2 and the recording was off. But you go. No, it was recorded. Now I have to upload the 2 videos instead of 1 video. So this will come in the second part. So I'll send you the 2 links. Right? But otherwise you can press the Shift F2 and you will be able to insert the comments. So let's quickly insert some comments. Good morning. So now see, you have the comments here and you have some formulas here. The formulas are, let's create some formula. This plus this and this minus, let's say 100, right? So this cell has a formula and this cell again has a formula. You see this formula, A3 plus A2 and a comment. Now if I want to copy and paste this, which is Control C and Control V, right? So I'll copy this and I paste it here. Now you see in the exact copy, the Xerox copy of this will be pasted. There will be no changes. But what if I want only the values? No colors, no comments, nothing, you know, no comments, no formula, nothing. So copy this again and go to this Alt S and set the value. That's it. So that's the difference. Now I can align them in the middle. So I'll press the middle. Now you see that there is no formula. You mean this one? If I do this step. Oh, it might be because now see by default, now see this, I've selected these cells. Okay, there's nothing written here. I'm going to do this, right? I did that, you did not notice it because nothing has happened, because we can't see the effect because values are not there, but we have aligned them in the left. Now I come to this and I align them in this direction, right? Similarly, now this time see what I'm going to do. These first cells I'm going to align them in the middle, and the next other cells I'm going to align them in this direction, and the next 2 cells I'm going to align them in this direction. Now let me first write something here. You see this? Here everything is towards right. Here everything is towards left. Now why this is towards right might be reason I just skipped this option. I didn't actually click here, but it is like this. Now let's see this option. You see this? So that's how, if I have clicked on this option before working, I mean I was working on some previous data and might the alignment was changed. So yeah, so that's quite, I mean, the basic thing, right? It is not going to create any problem. Alright, so we did this transpose function. Now I have to tell you a very important thing, and pay attention to this. You have to learn this step, and since the video is being recorded, so you can come back and you can always have a look if you think that you are not able to get that. Otherwise give me a call. But this is a very important thing. Let me delete this entire stuff. Let's write something like this. Not the date actually, but maybe let's say and let's have this course. Now let us first select them and give them the border and align them in the center. Alright, remove the grid lines. I mean, that's just your choice. I mean, I don't like them, so somehow I always remove them. Yes. Bold them. Now what you want to do is, if you want this data to be aligned, again in a different direction. Now this is horizontally. If I copy this and if I paste special and go to the transpose, you know that this will be in a vertical direction, right? And now I need the data as well. Now against them, copy them, put it here and use the E option and then copy it. Alt S. You don't have to select this option with mouse. You can even use the shortcut key. You see, underline this E. That's a shortcut. If I'm going to now press E in my keyboard, this will be selected automatically, and I can press enter. So I will be out. That's how you work fast. Yeah. Actually, that was the point of doing this exercise, because I thought you might not understand it initially, so I was trying to do it step by step, and then I wanted to ask you, that what exactly you find, something which is troubling you. Is something troubling you in this doing the steps? So that's what actually is. So you already said that why we are doing so many steps, right? So the point I'm trying to make is you can even transpose the entire table in one step. Yeah, exactly. But I thought you might get scared that what had happened, so just wanted to actually be a little cautious there. So that's why I was doing it step by step. But you can select this, and so Alt S and transpose. Yeah, like this. Alright. Now the second point which I'm trying to make is, so now Mandeep, we have a very good feature we have learned today, but the point is we still have a one, no, this is something which almost everybody knows who works on Excel, because this is something which Excel people do a lot. They keep on shuffling the data here and there, but the point is, which many of them are not aware, is that instead of doing this manual step transpose, you can even form a formula with the name of the transpose. Now what is the benefit? The first thing which I am going to tell you, the drawback of this option is, now this looks very nice when you don't want to set up any relationship between the primary table and your table. Primary table means this is the table, primary table, main table, and this is your table. Now the point is simple. Tomorrow if somebody comes here and changes these headers, or maybe this name is now going to be, let's say, new name, right? Do you see any changes here? This is still a name. If I'm going to change this table, instead of A, I'll say AJ. Instead of B, I say boy. I'm saying that if tomorrow any changes will happen in this table, right, those changes will not be reflected here, right? Because this is something which you did in the past, and this is something which is happening now. So if you want these numbers to be reflected in this table again, you have to again copy it and you have to transpose it again. But sometimes we are in a situation where we can't every day open a file and check that whether we have the same numbers or some changes in the number, and then if we have got the new numbers, then we go ahead and do this step. That's not something. When people generally prepare the dashboard, they prefer to link the things, so that if some changes is happening in the main table, automatically they should be picked in your table. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to learn today a transpose not as a paste special feature, but a transpose as a formula. And this is how now you do it. Just pay attention. Now I'll be step by step. First of all, we'll transpose this thing only, not the entire table, right? Now you know that if I copy this and I use this transpose, this is what happens, right? But any changes in my AJ, if tomorrow it is going to be changed into Sanjay, this will not be changed, right? I have to do again the transpose. Yeah, alright. So now let's see what we are going to do. Now see, when you do the transpose, you know that the number of the rows are converted into the number of columns, but the number remains same, right? So we have here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and we have here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right? Only the direction changes, but the number of the cells, they remain same, right? So now what I'm going to do is, see this, I know that we have got the 8 cells here, so I'm going to select this 8 cells, go to the FX. Have you ever used any formula, sum, product in Excel? Alright, so when you use any formula, you write equals to, equals to, right? Yeah, when you're applying the formula. Now if you would have paid attention to my last things where I was summing up two numbers, what I was doing, I was like this, equals to this plus this, right? So if I'm not going to press equals to, then I will not be able to select any cell. Now suppose I want that this D19, this should be linked with this cell Sanjay. How will I do it? This is how I can do it. Equals to A4. So it means if in A4 I write my name, this will be changed here as well, right? So this is how you reference one cell with the another cell. Now if I say that equals to, and I go to the sheet, let's say day 1, and now I select this one and I press enter, this will be reflected here. Now what it says, sheet, the sheet name is day 1, and under that sheet the cell is B13, which is linked. Now if I go to the day 1 sheet, and in this A13, what I do is I say that I come back to the sheet, this will be changed, right? Because we have linked the cells, two cells together. So the point I'm trying to make is, whenever, now this linking is also called a formula, because you're linking something, so it always starts with equals to, right? There is a formula called sum in Excel. Let me tell you this. If you want to sum, alright. Now what if I give you task to sum these numbers, scores? So we'll say total. How will you do that? Yeah, sum equals to sum. Yeah. Now yeah, right, but I'll tell you, I'll not start like this. You're a beginner, so pardon me for this. I'll select this cell and I'll go to this FX, click here. What do you see here? Most recently used formulas which I have used in my Excel, most of the time I use, so they are visible here, but not every formula. So what I want to do is, I might be looking for some new formula which I haven't used so far, so it is not going to be reflected here. So you have to change this to on. Now this actually will walk you through all the Excel formulas. It's a long list, right? So now it's a long list. So what formula you want to apply? I want to apply sum, right? So sum starts with S. So I'm going to press S, and it will take me to the S functions. Now search is the first function. I don't need this. I'll look for my sum. So keep on scrolling till you get this. Here I have got my sum. There are some other formulas as well. Sum is. This is something which we'll do later. So this is sum. Press OK. You can even see the definition of a formula here. Excel, that's the Excel help for you. Add all the numbers, right, in a range. So I press OK. Once you press OK, you will see this pop up. Now this is more of a wizard, which is especially for the people who just begin with the Excel. Later on, I will not encourage you to go there. You will start writing your formula by yourself, and that's the best way to write, right? So now it says a number. What is your number? I'm going to select this number. I want to sum this, right? What is my number 2? I select this. What is the number 3? I select 33. What is the number 4? 32. What is the number? Next number is this, right? So now this is how I can actually keep on adding the numbers. Scroll this and you'll see more windows. So now here B6 and then B7 and the last number is B8. You can even see the formula result here. Press OK. Now you see that everything is summed, right? Now there is one problem with this table, with this formula, is that I have to select so many cells, right? If I have to sum 50 cells, then that means 50 times I have to select, right? So I will not do that. What I'm going to do is, now again I'm writing this formula. I'll go to the fx. This is my all. I'll press S. Keep on pressing S till you see sum. So have to be little patient here, right? So sum. Now instead of pressing all the numbers one by one, you can even do this. Now how you gonna select this table? If I have to select 44, 55, 33, 32, 22, 3 and 22 in one step, how you gonna do that? It was only shift. Yeah. So I selected this. That's my B2 cell, right? B column, second row, and now shift. I'm pressing shift key, and now select directly this cell, and this will cover everything. So now B2 to B8 is selected. B2 colon B8 means that from B2 till B8 everything is selected, and I'll press OK. Now same result, but this step saves a lot of time, right? Now you can try to read the formula. What it says: sum bracket start B2 to B8, and here what it says: sum B2 comma B3 B4. So it has actually addressed every cell. So that is also correct. This is also correct. But this is something we never use when you have a selection, when you want to sum the numbers which are in a continuous process, which are in a same sequence. If I give you a task, sum this, let me color it, or you have to color these three cells here, let's say. How will you do it? Tell me from the beginning. Colored ones. Yeah. Alright. Alright, so first you need to see this as well, right? It is all now. In your case, it might not be all. It would be what? Most recently used. So keep the all. Alright. Now once you click on the all, before pressing S, if my cursor would be here, you see this, and if I'm now trying to press S, nothing is happening. In fact, it is writing me S. Yeah, you have to select somewhere here. Now press S. Okay, so I'm going to press S quickly. Alright, so we got the sum. Press OK. No, You see, right now you are just telling Excel that this is what I have chosen, but yeah, you have to press it. 33. Okay, so I okay. Awesome. So you see, we have 3 cells bifurcated with comma. Right now, that's the fx function. But now we'll start doing it manually. We write the function ourselves. Now that's the rule. Equals to. Now see, Manmeet, when you take the help of the fx, Excel automatically writes equals to for you. You don't have to write it, right? We didn't write in any of these 3 formulas. But when you are doing it manually, you have to write equals to. If I'm going to write here something like this, nothing will appear. Yeah, exactly. Now I'm selecting this cell, but it is nothing is happening. I'm not kidding. So I press equals to sum. Now I see the sum here, which means I'm correct. Start the bracket. Now same window which you saw in the form of pop-up this is what it is. It says number 1, number 2. So if I want to now select these 3 numbers again, the gray ones, what I'll do is select, control now this and close the bracket. Press enter. If I have to sum this entire thing, how I'm going to do that? Sum. Now I will not use control, right? Yeah, so I select this. Now I'm going to press shift and I go to the last cell. Yeah, now you see that it says B2 colon D8, B2 to D8. Close the bracket and enter. Make sense? Alright, now similarly, if you want to subtract, same thing. Now if you write equals to subtract, you see that there is no formula, which means that subtract does not exist. Okay, but that does not mean that you can't minus it. It is just that in Excel it is not known as a subtract. So when you want to subtract the things, this is how you do. Let's say I want to subtract this, and this is a subtract sign, which is your hyphen, and this, let's say. So if I subtract 66 from 55, I'll get minus 11. So this is the sign which you use for the subtract. That's the minus sign. See the formula bar? Yeah, in the formula. Yeah, exactly. And you, yeah, hyphen. See, one is this and one is this. When you press shift, then it becomes underscore, and when you press the another one, then it becomes hyphen. So this hyphen is, though it is a hyphen, but when you try to connect 2 cells together, then it also acts like a subtract. And I can check here. Let's check. My information might be wrong. Let me press all and let's see if we have subtract or not. Yeah. So we don't have. Right? We don't have this problem. So this is how the minus sign works. Now similarly, if you want to multiply 2 numbers, how will you do that? If I say product, I have a formula. Product, number 1 is what? This, and then comma will take me to the number 2. This is now bold, and I select this. Now if I again press comma, you see these commas? These commas means that they are the parameters which you need to supply. So if I have any other number, then the moment I press comma, you see number 3 is highlighted. right? So it means I want Excel says that if you have pressed comma, then you need to supply number 3 as well. So let me select this cell. Now I can further go ahead and press comma and pass on the number 4, but if I don't have, then I simply close this. Yeah, just close the bracket and enter. Yeah, so now this is how you can use the product formula, but people who are very good in Excel and day to day, they don't write this formula. Instead of that, they use this star. Just like for subtract, well, for subtract we didn't have any option because there was no formula, so ultimately we used hyphen. But product can also be used with this star. Star means multiply, and this is easy in terms of it saves your time and you don't have to basically write the entire structure equals to product. Let me show you how. Press equals to 44, multiply it 35. Press, yeah, right. If you want to multiply something with this, some number like this, now B2 should be multiplied with 100, and 100 is, let's say, nowhere, so I can even write it like this. Right? So this is how you write the formulas, and these are the basic formulas, right? Alright, so now let me come back to the transpose function. Transpose was, we have to ensure that if something changes in my this table, let me highlight this table so that it looks little separate from the rest of the things. Yeah. Now see what I'm going to do. I have these many cells, so I select this and I go to this equals to, and I say transpose. Transpose formula has started appearing. If you see, Excel is helping you out. Now this is how we start the formula. Now when you start the formula, when you put this open parenthesis, if you remember, in some formula you were given the number 1 comma number 2 comma number 3 and so on. In product again it was some sort of this, the same thing, product then bracket start number 1 comma number 2. So the point is, every formula has its own parameters. You can't expect the same result from the result which product is giving you. You can't have the same expectations from transpose. Transpose is designed for a different purpose, but what remains same is couple of things. First thing, every formula will start with equals to. Second thing, every formula, once you write that formula, it will start with the open bracket, and then when you pass on the your this parameters, these within the bracket, these are the parameters. When you complete these parameters, then you have to close it and then press enter. Now what do you understand by the parameters? Now parameters, they are very, very helpful. I'll tell you when you start with the VLOOKUP. Parameters actually give you indication what exactly this function demands from you. Now in Excel, array means table. When you write the sum function, I think it actually has given you a lot of help to understand that what exactly it does, right? Because it was clearly telling you that it is asking for the numbers, right? So once you keep on selecting the numbers and keep on pressing going to the next parameter, this is going to expand. So which means that it can have n number of parameters, right? But in case of transpose, when you select this and you go to here equals to, you see that there is just a one parameter. Now why I'm not getting this parameter? This is, I have applied the open bracket here. Yeah, still I can't see that. What do you think? What's wrong? Now some people have this tendency, they don't even see that, they start the bracket and they see that there is no help, there is no parameter which Excel is offering them, and they still go ahead and apply the formula. Ultimately formula will not work, and then there you start thinking what's wrong. So better when you start the formula, just open your eyes and be like slow with the Excel, and just because Excel is something which when it comes to formulas, 50% of the help is already provided by the Microsoft to you in many ways. For example, now when I see that there is nothing coming over here, it means this formula does not exist. That's why. Now why this formula does not exist? Either it could be because of lack of knowledge, somebody told me and I thought okay, that might be the formula, or second reason could be spelling mistake, right? So I'm gonna come here and I press S. The moment I press S, the parameter is visible. If again I press E and start it, there will be no formula. So that's the first check for you. Exactly. If I'm going to write here something like this, no way. You immediately stop there. Don't even go ahead and say that now this is something wrong. Now when I set equals to SU, you see that all the formulas are available here. When we press subtract, when there is no formula for the subtract, how can you even think of using this function, right? So that's the first thing. So we'll immediately come here, transpose. This is offering you help, so there should be no spelling mistake. Now the array means table. So now this has only one parameter, whereas sum and product, they were offering you n number of parameters, right? Comma, 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 and keep on selecting. So it requires only one parameter, first thing. Now what is the parameter? The parameter name is array. Now you are new to Excel, so let me tell you that this array, we will have this format in many of other functions. Even in I think VLOOKUP we use this array. Array means table. Table means selection of multiple cells, right? So where is my table? That's my table, right? We can say that A, B, C, D, if you mean by that. That's what you're saying. Yeah, we have got 4, right? But that again depends. I can make it as a 1 as well. If I select this like this, yeah, this is now one array. Exactly. Because you are passing this parameter, in this array you are passing this entire selection, so this is going to be act as a single table. But this is not my motive. My motive is only to select this. So for this transpose, this is now table, the entire table. Now close the bracket. Now what you need to do is, we always press enter as I was telling you. But for this feature, particularly for this feature, remember, you have to remember this. You need to press Ctrl Shift Enter for using this transpose. Rest of the formulas, when we do VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, find, mid, match, substitute, large, max, min, index, offset, whatever formula we'll do, for every formula we'll always press enter. But for this particular formula, it has to be Ctrl Shift Enter. Let's see now, Ctrl Shift Enter. The moment I did that, you see that numbers are pegged here. Now you would ask me that what is the difference between this and this, because output is same. The difference is, in this you see formula bar, there is a value, there is no formula, right? But if you come down here, you see that there is a formula on every cell. Yeah, so I'm going to do this. Let's see. Right? So this is a enhanced version of a transpose, when you use the transpose as a function. This so this is how we did. Let's say I selected first you need to select the cells. right? And then go to the formula bar, transpose, and now select the table. So let's say this time we want to select this table. Control Shift Enter, and this magic will happen. Yeah, it is going to be. And you can do this in one step as well. If I want to let me show you this in different sheet. Go to the sheet and paste value it, give the bordering and put them in the center, remove the grid lines. Now see what I'm going to do is, now I have to do it in one step. Now you see, if I select this table, if I select this, it has 4 columns, and how many rows it has? It has 8 rows, right? So it is going to be now a 4 column and not the 4 column, 4 rows and 8 columns. It is going to be the inverse of that. But you really don't have to pay attention to that, because it may have some more headers and then ultimately you keep on calculating it, right? It has got 4 columns, but yeah, so when you're going to convert it, it will be changed, right? Yeah, so 4 columns will be converted into 4 rows, and the 8 rows will be 8 columns. But you don't have to remember that, right? You don't have to. Basically what the idea is, select the number of cells, make your best judgment and ensure that the number of the table, the number of the columns in the tables in your selection should have more number of columns in the rows than what it is in the main table. If you want to be very choosy, then you can do the selection accordingly, like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the columns 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on, right? But I'm not going to do that, right? So what I'll do is, I'll simply say this. I select this and I do this. So now I think that this will be fit into this. So let us try it. Extra cell will work, but if you don't have the extra cells, then it will create a problem. It will miss some numbers. Let us see how we can. Let's just come to that. So now the table is this. Close the bracket, Control Shift, Enter, right? Get them center. Now, and you can even give the border. I keep on repeating these steps: border, center line, so that you should be used to it. Like I click here and I click on the all border, and you can even choose this kind of a border as well. See this thick border. So I select this thick border. You see that now I have a thick border outside. Now I went by my idea, so that's how this is created. So I have got all the cells, but there are some unnecessary columns as well, because I didn't go exactly by these number of column and rows. So this is something we can actually hide them. No, now that's a very interesting thing was, in this formula, this is this transpose, you can't delete anything individually. Now if you try to delete this 33, you cannot change a part of an array, because this is acting as an entire formula, so you can't delete any of itself. If you have to delete it, then you have to select the entire thing and delete it. Let me press Ctrl Z. So there are 2 options now. One is select these rows. This is how you select, right? You know this, how you select the rows. Alright, so if I click here, this entire row will be selected, and if I have to do any action on the column, I'll click here E. That's how, right? I can even do one thing: Control space bar, Control space bar, Control space bar. select the cell which you want to sorry, not hide actually, and shift plus spacebar, select entire row. Right? So if I select this cell, then that means I'm on the 6th row, right? And I press shift spacebar, it will be selected. Otherwise you can select from here as well. So let's do one thing, select this and then press shift key and select 17, and these are going to be selected, and now right click and hide them. And similarly for the column, right? Another thing which you can do, let me control Z it. Another thing which you can do is select this, see this now, give it a font white. Because the background is white, so the text color, if it goes white, then some, yeah. Now you don't have to actually hide it, but you can keep it here, right? So that's how you can do these things with the transpose. Alright, now let's go ahead and use another option, which is a go to. Let me do this. Now see, go to is a very interesting thing. Now for example, I'll just show you, let me just have some data here. Suppose you might be in a situation where what you want to do is, where you want to actually fill in these cells. So I'm keeping this original data here. So what exactly we want to do is, we want to fill these cells with the upper one. Like if I have a 77, I should write here 77, I should write here 55, I should write here 33, I should write here 66, here 33, here 77, and again 77, and so on, right? This is what we want to do, and this is something which we often come across, because when you actually get some file from some external source, be it a text file, or when server catches some data and it when you retrieve the data from the server, then sometimes it happens that you get the data in this zigzag order. So you have to, this is more of a data refining process now, which I'm going to tell you. Now how will you achieve this task? Obviously if you have a long list, you can't every time copy and paste it like this. So what we can do is select this very first blank cell, or maybe you can select this entire like this. Now this time underneath, you don't have to press Alt S. Alt S is finished now. This time you have to press Ctrl G, which is a go to. And just like I said that you can even use this ribbon for the paste special, similarly under home tab you have here in find and select go to special. So either you press Ctrl G, G as in God, or you press go to special, one and the same thing. Now what I want to do is, I want to press blank, and I press OK. The moment you press OK, from your selection only the blanks will be highlighted. Now this is again a technique for you which you have to remember. Now press equals to, okay, I pressed equals to and selected this upper cell, and now you need to press Control Enter. The moment you press Control Enter, all the cells will be filled with their upper values, right? Let us repeat this step again. Suppose you have that's the thing, right? Now let me keep this here so that we can see that what changes it has brought. Now Control G, selection is important, remember, right? Control G, special, home, here, yeah, go to special, blank, press OK, blanks are highlighted. Now you press equals to this, only this, right? Upper one. Control enter. Right? So what you do is, in order to do this task, first step, select the table. Step 2, Control G or use home tab, home menu tab, and go to find and select. Right, this is this one, arrow. Okay, go to special. Click on blanks. Once you click on the blanks, step 4 would be press equals to, okay, and step 5 would be, no, first you need to give the reference, yeah, equals to, and then give the reference to the upper cell or target cell, and then the last step would be Control plus enter. Now, so what does that mean? Why I have said that not just the upper cell but the target cell? Because see, now this might be I didn't get the question, but I'm just trying to answer this. Let's say you have these names here. Right? Now, what you want to do is, in this situation now, you want that these blank cells to be filled by the names. These names. So Adi should here, Manmeet should here, Akshay should here. Not 55 or 66. So that is also achievable. Right? You just need to reference it with this cell. How? Select this. Yeah, exactly. Select the cell. Go to the Control G, special, blank. Blanks are selected now. So 50% job is done. Now, see the step 4. Press equals to. Now, remember, if I select anywhere else, these blank selections will disappear. And let's say if you select somewhere else, then they will be gone. So you don't have to touch anywhere. So select the cells, blank, and now press equals to. When you press the equals to, you have to reference it with whatever cell you want to, right? But ensure that if you select this cell, then every time the cell which is very you can say that one row up and one column right, whatever the value will be there, it will be picked for the rest of the cells as well. So if you don't have the Manmeet in front of 66, that means it will not be pasted, it will be blank, right? So this is for a specific condition. Now press Control G, Control Enter. Right, so you can do whatever you want to do with this. You can link with any cell, but ensure that the cell which you are linking, it has to be in some in a similar fashion, right? Otherwise the purpose will be defeated. Alright, that's a good question. Let's try to do this. I'm going to write here Alt S, and now let's quickly delete this. So now see, select the table, blank, right, equals to, Now you want Ajay, right? So I will write it Ajay, control enter, right? Alright, so I haven't got it. Let me just undo it. Let me put it like this, Ajay, and let's control enter, right? Whatever you, yeah, exactly, we write there, because if you're going to reference it, then its intelligence will actually pick up the cells in a very same order. Or you can do one thing, or you can do this step as well. Just copy this. Sure. So this is how you can do, or you can build another table with this name, and now you can do it again. For example, now I am going to select this, Control G, blank, this equals to this, Control enter. Now these are just going to be picked up. Choice is yours, how you want to design the thing. But this is more of a good thing, because then you can write it whatever you want. But Control enter must, right? Alright, so now there is another good thing in the GoTo, which is for the visible cells. Now for example, let me just increase this. So see, Manmeet, I am writing here something, and I'm going to hide couple of things here. For example, these are the rows which I'm going to hide. Select, and you can delete it, you can even hide it. This, right? Let us hide them as well. Now if you copy this and paste it here, or maybe in any other sheet, but not in front of this, you'll see all the numbers back. So if you want your visible cells only to be copied, the ones which are hidden, you don't want to copy. And trust me, this actually comes quite often in Excel, right? Some rows are hidden, some columns are hidden, but you just want to copy the visible ones. How will you do it? Select the entire table, again go to the Control G and say visible cells. Press OK. And now copy and paste it. So that's how you can paste the visible cells, right? Now one more thing which we would like to do, and then we'll end up for the day. If you have your sheet which has, let's say, a lot of these text and numbers and some true and false as well, and some formulas as well. Let me write the formula: sum, this and this, and similarly this minus, let's say, this, similarly this multiply by this, right? And if you want to do comparison whether this 88 is equals to 66, this is how you do, right? G2 equals to F2, so obviously you will get true or false. If this cell equals to 88, this is how you write, you will get true. And if I divide this cell by 44, this is how the divide sign, this is like we have a hyphen for subtract, this is for the divide, slash, so I'll get the division. Now if I'm going to divide this by 0, I'll get the error, because you can't divide anything with the 0. So now you have your sheet where you have the constants, you have the formula, and if you particularly talk about the formula, then in that formula, some formula are giving you the values, some formulas are giving you the logical things which are true or false, and some formulas are giving you the error. And similarly you have some let me just write this, or maybe let's just keep it like this. Similarly for constants you have some text entries, you have some numbers, and you have some true and false. again the logical things, but this time they are constants, not formula. Now if you want to identify in your sheet that where in which cells you have applied the formula, you want to see it, and then you want to observe that the formulas are correct or not, or maybe you want to analyze your sheet and you want to see that what all formulas are giving me the errors, so select this entire thing and go to the Control G. It's quite simple, special, and let's say press formula. The way we pressed blank, we'll this time press formula. Press OK. This will be highlighted. Now all the cells where I have the formula, they are highlighted. I can even color them so that later on when I'm going to revise this, then I can go to yellow cells and I can see what exactly is happening there, right? And if you are interested in the formulas but only in the errors, the formulas which are giving the error, click on the formula and under this formula uncheck all these and just keep this error on. Press OK. You see, it has selected the error. So if I have some more errors here, let's say this by 0 again, any error of the formula which is giving you, and now if I go to the Control G formula and I say that I'm just interested in the errors, these will be selected and I can give them the red color. Once I give them the red color, then I can see one by one all of them. Now this is a small data, so that's why this option might not be looking so useful, but just imagine if you have a data where you need to even scroll, so you can immediately check your red ones and you can see the things, and once you see the things you can remove this color, right? Similarly, you can go to the Control G and you can look out for the other things, like for example, if you are interested at all the formulas which are giving me the numbers, press OK. See, they will be selected now. You can color them, maybe some another color. Similarly, you can go for the constants, same way. Now in constants again, you are looking for the text, number, or everything. I'm looking for the everything, so I'll press OK. So it will select all the constants, you see, and now I can even delete them. So some people they use it like for example, you have a now this month is July, you have a July dashboard. In July dashboard there are some constants, there are some formulas, right? Now the format remains same, so what you want to do is when this next month comes, August, then you want to keep a copy of it, right? So what they do is they first, now see this, I'm going to create a copy of it, move to end, right? And I'm going to name this as a July dashboard, and this time this will be my August dashboard, and the month is just to start. So but this time the July numbers will have no meaning for me, right? So I'll go Control G and I say constant, give me all the constants of this sheet, and I delete them. Now the good thing is the formula will remain there, because formulas are always generally standard formulas. If there is some billing happening, then that billing will majorly depend upon cost price, selling price, and blah blah things, but all those cells would be there. Yeah, exactly. Now you see, we have summed up, we are summing up F7 and F2. If I press F2, I can see these cells. Now if I write something here, now this is the August month, so numbers are changed, so this is what the numbers are. Eventually the formula will pick up those values. What's the big deal, right? So this is how you can immediately, with just one step, you can create one dashboard from the other dashboard. If you don't know this feature, then just imagine you have to delete, you have to be very careful in deleting the cells. If by chance you delete any cell which is very important because it has a very important formula, then ultimately once you are through, once you save the file, then somebody or maybe you will later notice that the output is incorrect, so it is going to be very difficult to track. So this is how you can play it very safe. Right, so couple of more things which are left, and I think it's 15-20 minutes of more session we require, so we'll do it tomorrow. But today I'll send you the assignments, and whatever question you think that you have not done in a class, just leave them, attempt the rest ones. Right, and in case if you need one day for practice, no problem, we can even meet day after tomorrow. But I want, if you have enough time today, just try to complete them, because there might be like I think 20-25 questions, right?